Ferox actually has the highest marathon endless game in the world. So they have 1 billion or 999 in the endless category. They have multiple records in over in the effect modes in this game. So they have stamina on their side, they have efficiency on their side, and they have speed on their side. They are going to be a whole new ball game for Coldless to play in and take down.
And you know what Ferox also has on his side here? The horse avatar.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be something really special.
No, the horse avatar. Come on, it's all about the avatars here.
It is, and Coldless has just tier 1. They're
yes,
already
I know.
a deficit going in.
I know. It's almost like the friend count stat in Tetrio is like the. Oh, hello.
Oh, we were too busy memeing. Oh dear, that's an interesting start to the game. Although they cleaned it up fairly well. I'm gonna give them credit. That was quite nice. And you know, I saw a little bit of IRS usage in there, so it's fine. Everything is fine.
Love to see. Yeah, I mean, once you start working with IRS, it becomes just so natural. You wouldn't even think about it before IRSing, and so I like to see that from Coldless there. And so Ferox is going to start off this full zone here. Coldless also has full zone. This is interesting.
Yeah. Everything is in fact fine.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And Ferox
is looking for the curb here, not finding it.
Impossible IRS, impossible IHS. It was there was so many ways to get it there, but none of them worked out in a way that was possible.
Yeah, and there were 20 solves there. Yeah. Even Steven.
Even in score.
So, yeah, that's one thing I'm noticing here. Actually, even with Coldless's misdrops at the beginning and the early zone, they do have a very similar score to Ferox.
Yeah.
We might see something similar to what we saw last round with the efficiency difference. But so far not showing because Ferox is pressuring. Ferox has full zone, and he is looking to put this into phase 3.
Absolutely, and look at his board state. He's going to go for a 2-wide. Fairly unconventional, but knowing Ferox, he will make it work.
Yeah, making it work. Absolutely right here. And that is going to be 45 attack on a Coldless's board, and they only have 3/4 zone and a non-optimal board here. This is what Ferox wants right now.
And that's the thing, like, Ferox's zone wasn't efficient, but was fast, and definitely didn't give Coldless time to get that extra quarter they so desperately needed going into this phase 3 here. They zone again with a quarter, and they do get a few lines. It's only going to be 5 attack. That's not nearly enough to cancel out Ferox, who, look at that board state, nothing but man-made stack all the way to the first round 1.
Yeah, and we do see the speed difference there, the attack difference. Coldless with some early mistakes. I'm interested to see what this will look like without those mistakes. Will Coldless be able to maintain in that driver's seat there, in that score lead that we saw him in last match? Or are we going to see a much more even score battle here? I hope to see the even score battle. It'll be a very different playing field if we do see that.
Absolutely. And so far, fairly standard. Coldless is keeping up pretty well. Ferox is just charging ahead here. Stampeding? No.
So Coldless did misdrop an eyepiece. Good recovery there, but a little bit of hesitation. Okay, very nice fix. Nice find. Coldless is going to be A-okay for this first zone here.
Yeah, and actually, this is great 5-4. Look at this. This is beautiful. A fractal there. I'm surprised they didn't zone on that, but maybe they want to try and see Ferox zone first to give themselves more time to just prepare for something really nice. But what's better than a fractal, if you ask me?
Yeah, I mean, Coldless has had several opportunities to zone. They use this fractal to zone. So
interesting.
Still, I mean, if you're someone who can bring your board state back to something workable multiple times in a row, then, I mean, yeah, I guess you don't need to zone when you have the fractal ready. That's going to lock Coldless out. They didn't know that was going to lock them out there.
I don't think they know about. I don't think they've come with lockout yet.
No, lockout is hard to deal with. It's
in
so
their games, in their standard games, they're used to being able to place pieces above the playboard, and they might just forget it sometimes. Or maybe it was intentional. We'll see how
maybe it was intentional. I would say the speed that they were playing, it doesn't look like it was intentional. Yeah, Tetrio does not have lockout. That is something that was changed, I think, within the past couple of years. Ooh, that's awkward from Coldless there. There is a fix, but Ferox is charging straight for that phase 3, trying to find that good board state to zone, and there it is here. So this is a slightly non-optimal board state from Ferox, so he's definitely looking for the speed here, finding it so far, but this is a little awkward trying to find the efficiency at the top. This is not ideal, but you know what is also not ideal is the garbage on Coldless's board.
I love that overhang from Ferox.
Okay, that overhang was actually so cute.
It was nice. I like that. And Coldless with a 45, actually sending it back. Beautiful. And Ferox is forced to zone there. You know, fairly impressive to turn around Coldless.
Yeah, and Ferox does zone there, but has a lot of attack ready to go. And so Ferox knows what he was looking for in that zone. It is pressuring Coldless while having a lot of material to work through on the bottom of their board. This is exactly what Ferox needs to do in this matchup right here. This is very well played.
Oh, yeah. I'm frankly really impressed with Coldless being able to keep up with Ferox because he is quite a mighty zone player.
Yeah. And maybe this will come down to an endurance battle. We saw one of those yesterday, and it's something that's not easy to do in this game. Sometimes the slower play style can save your hands more and make it so that you can maintain those longer rounds. I don't know. We're going to have to see this here. Considering that I haven't seen this matchup before, I'm not comfortable calling who would win an endurance matchup here
this
at
could go
all.
either way, frankly. I will say that Coldless, having already played an entire set, which went 4-7. They've already played 11 rounds. It could be slightly in Ferox's favor, and of course, they have the marathon and all those records I mentioned. I don't know. It's still hard to say. You can't call it guaranteed.
No, you can't. And we have both players at the top of the zone here top of the board here, trying to work through this stack, trying to build on top of that garbage to get some attack here, to get an opening, but neither player finding it so far.
Jesus, good fixes there from Coldless. Some pretty catastrophic, like I would say fairly catastrophic misdrops there. They made it work, and oh no, they had 3 quarters, but Ferox kept the pressure on, never gave them an opening to zone, and takes another round. 0-2. Remember, Coldless needs to win another set of 7 to go to the true finals to have a chance to win. They have to win twice in a row to beat Ferox. Ferox only needs 5 rounds to pull this home, and it's looking pretty good for them so far.
Yeah, I'm sure Ferox definitely does not want this to draw out here. Not exactly in the Uyushoda situation that we saw yesterday where he knows he's at an advantage by causing the bracket reset, but or by allowing the bracket reset. Somewhat at an advantage. It's hard to explain what kind of mind games were going on yesterday.
There was so much happening yesterday.
So I can't the clip with the just continue button or the retry.
That has me like rolling. That had me rolling last night when I was trying to sleep.
Yeah. So we do have both players with this full zone here, waiting to find a better board state to use it. Ferox is in this 9-0 state, is probably going to be either just looking for a couple of eyepieces or a Kaidon to start this, and there are those eyepieces. Just starts it with 1, which is honestly fine if you're going for speed here. That seems to be Ferox's strategy in zone so far, and I do like it. Looking for a curve here, but does not find it.
1 meter off from what it would have been a 61 curb. Pretty
good,
and you know, 48 will still take that.
And we saw with Tizago how important those curbs can be and can start those early rounds or end the early rounds right there.
Yeah.
And it's so helpful, but not finding it there and going to be pressured a little bit, but has some clean stack and misdrops right at the top of the board.
Yeah, that's pretty dangerous. They get 2 eyepieces though, so they do get 8 lines, which is 15 attack, enough to stave off any.
And you know what that was? Is the phase 3 strobe.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Coldless has a massive score lead here, and unfortunately, I don't think they're going to benefit they're not going to benefit from it too hard. They are slightly ahead in zone charge here. Maybe they want to take this, but Ferox is fast. I think he'll be able to build up that zone before Coldless can finish his max.
Yeah, and I love the TST setup from Ferox there. Coldless at the top of the board, stacking on the garbage very well here, but Ferox knows what to do in this situation. Yeah, Coldless not wanting to zone so they can make use of their full meter here, but that's a great combo. Great combo from Coldless right there.
And that sends 1 big attack. 7 is the first attack in the combo that sends 3. So Ferox would have been definitely feeling that. And you know what? The Minos, get out of the way. 28, 25? Looks like it's 25. Yeah, the Minos got in the way. Thanks, TEC. Love you. Great time. Yeah, Coldless cancels it with a 33. We're just going back and forth now. I love it.
We are going back and forth, but Coldless has the advantage right now at the bottom of the board with the almost entirely man-made stack. Ferox is going to try to put some pressure on with this zone, maybe get them out of their comfort zone. But yeah, Coldless is able to find enough attack so that they don't have to accept anything there. And Ferox is now just clutching for his life right now.
I'm surprised he zoned just then. I don't think he needed to quite yet. One quarter zone is fine when both players are sitting on a quarter, but zoning again when your opponent is at half a zone or even 3/4 of a zone like that, that's actually kind of giving yourself a death sentence, if you ask me. You can't beat a deficit like that when you're in phase 3. You can't be down by that much of a zone because your opponent will absolutely slaughter you once you finish your quarter zone.
Right.
Ferox's zones there only hitting 6 to 8 attack. It just wasn't enough.
I was thinking Ferox was going to get 1 in 10 with that STSD at the bottom right there, but
that would be funny.
It would be funny, but does not happen here. And we do see both players with that max zone. Again, Coldless not starting that zone despite a couple of good opportunities to do so. Interesting waiting for the opponent to zone here. It seems very intentional right now, and I don't know if that eyepiece...
last round, Coldless just wouldn't zone. Whether or not it was because they couldn't find an opening or they chose not to zone, Coldless's MO of not zoning seems to be working against Ferox. Maybe it's a shakeup of how Ferox is used to people playing, but he seems to be coping with the lack of a zone, the active pressure.
Yeah, and
it's definitely interesting.
I think that comes from not wanting to zone first, especially if you're a slower player. Sometimes zoning first can be a sign of, defeat. Not defeat, but admitting that you're at a disadvantage by zoning first. And so maybe that's the reason Coldless isn't zoning first, but I would argue that most top players don't operate under that assumption.
No, that's probably a little bit too much for them to be thinking about as well. They'd be definitely ingrained in habits. I will say, Coldless with an amazing 53 to counter Ferox's 60 and 20. Identical efficiency. Identical.
Yeah, and Coldless with a little bit of a misdrop here. Ferox does start that zone before that phase 3 ding, and so that...
3, and Coldless has no zone.
Coldless has nothing.
They're going to try and clear as many lines as they can.
Yeah, no,
and they're going to go for the quarter. They don't get anything in the zone, but they have set up a T-spin. Is that enough?
No, it's not. I think that this is definitely Ferox's
Tetris,
round.
I don't see Coldless stepping out of this.
I mean, this is a really great combo down stack, but there's not really much here, especially when Ferox is just layering on attack. There's the end of it, but yeah, no, Ferox closes that out.
If Ferox had suddenly just gone away from his PC to go do some laundry and then come back, maybe Coldless could have survived, but the attack immediately after that zone is what really secured it.
Yeah,
Great
but
zone,
Ferox
that's
did
33.
Finish his laundry before this, so we didn't see that. Coldless is starting this off with a misdrop here. A little unfortunate, maybe showing that they are a little bit uncomfortable here, or I'm just reading way too much into it. That's also a possibility.
No, I think you're onto something. Look at them. They're doing some fancy stuff.
Yeah, and Ferox playing that extremely well, closing that out, having that speed to do so is just so crucial if you're in these long tournament sets.
Yeah. And I think that's another advantage that Ferox has over Coldless. They're much more familiar with these longer sets of rounds.
Yeah, Coldless with some interesting floating T-spins. An odd fix going on right there, but I mean, very well handled, I will say.
It turns into a T-spin at the bottom of the board.
Yeah,
Ferox so... fairly mid-zone, if I do say so myself. 27 and 11.
But yeah, Ferox being forced to zone there. Fortunately for Ferox, Coldless is not going to be able to find full use of their zone
only
either.
Only 31.
So both players in the same situation here made the same kind of mistake, and it just evens out in the wash.
Yeah, Coldless unfortunately had a really nice STC there. They ended up turning into a quick play revive setup, it looked like. For the double S spin.
Oh my god.
Gotta have some callbacks. I've been playing it a lot recently.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, unfortunately, S spins are not gonna do much for you here.
No.
As Ferox is zoning.
Yeah, and Ferox is hitting none of those fancy spins, and instead going for T-spins and Tetris all the way. And they unfortunately don't get the T piece at the right time, right at the end of the bag. It was actually the last piece in the bag. Fairly unlucky there, and that's probably gonna cut the zone about 10 attacks short. Oh dear.
Yeah, Ferox did just push this over into phase 3, going for the attack strategy here, only has quarter zone, and okay, yeah, no, this is what Ferox wanted, has a bit of material to work with here, and is able to send some pressure as Coldless almost misdrops that T-spin.
Almost, but they make it work.
Didn't do it. I mean, honestly, that's what slowing down can get you.
Exactly right, you take your time. We see it with Jaden, OSW, hell, Tazago. We've seen it, the fast players tend to misdrop quite a bit. It's not great. You've got to be fast enough to fix them as well. But, you know, make them. You can afford to go nice and slow.
Yep. And I love to see that strategy here, like I've mentioned before, but Ferox is showing why players claim speed is king here. Speed is what's helping this matchup in Ferox's favor. And if you can just control your misdrops and be comfortable with the speed that you're going, it's really hard to beat someone who has a speed gap on you like this. Absolutely.
Ferox with thousands of hours between multiple different platforms. This guy definitely knows how to play this game, and fast. So we're hopefully going to see him pull off a pretty good zone here. 39 and 13 from Coldless. Ferox with a 15 so far. This is great. And that's a 51.
51? 51 is wild. I love that.
That's an ulti. That's an ulti score right there.
Yeah, no, that is great. And that does exactly what Ferox needed to do. Pressure onto Coldless' board. They're up at the top. They only have a half zone here. They don't even have the space to zone if they wanted to use all of that.
Zone here, but when you're up at the top of the board and you zone,
that eyepiece
the bottom lines just come up faster and faster, and that's going to be the round.
Yeah, that's going to be the round, especially... Wait.
Have I misspoken?
No, that's got to be it.
Yeah, I don't think they'd survive.
No, I mean, there's a little bit of survival.
I'm going to keep saying it. I don't think they survived it.
No, they don't.
I didn't want to be wrong there. They pulled it out pretty far. They did everything right, but even with every possible decision that could be made, Ferox just kept pressuring and took the win.
Yeah, we saw some rounds yesterday where it just seemed like the survival was illegal, but luckily these players operate by more human laws and do actually, you know, die when you would expect them to.
They do bleed. They do actually bleed.
They do, yeah. So that is always nice for our sake, being able to call things a little bit better. But, you know, after yesterday, we kind of have to question ourselves a little bit. We're on our toes in terms of that one.
Yeah, we're staring at our hands going, what's real? What's real? Why did they press continue? I can't believe that.
Yeah, I know. But what we do see here is Ferox handling this so well in this matchup so far. 1-4 is really difficult to come back from here. We're talking about the momentum game. It's very much in Ferox's favor, but I would say when we're in this Division B, we are going to see the momentum not being as much of a factor.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so with this matchup. Specifically this matchup, Ferox has pulled off some incredible clutches. Coldless, I don't know, he's just playing very well. It's hard to call for him. It's really hard. He's just doing better than I expected, really.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why they've gotten this far in the bracket, and it's nice to see it. I love to see it, and it shows that they upset their seed multiple times to get here, I mean, and so it's cool to see.
They took down Tazago, who I would say was poised to win that set. That set just then. That's an interesting.
I mean, that was unintentional, but it's a great fix.
It's a good fix, yeah.
No, I like it a lot.
Coldless is just playing in a way that isn't that intuitive to a TC player. Not zoning for one. It's kind of crazy when it doesn't give you any visible advantage. Not zoning is just a strange thing to decide to do.
That ulti from Coldless right there was so clean, so well done. Such a great find there. It was a pretty easy find, but to even get yourself in the board state to make that's
phase 3.
That is phase 3. Coldless is going to be putting this into phase 3 with only a quarter zone and a misdrop right at the beginning.
I think that's the match.
Yeah, that's it. This is lights.
No IRS there. That could have maybe given them. They would have had survival. Yeah, they would have had survival maybe, but there's so much attack in the queue. I don't think it would have mattered. Ferox with 117, 91. Not the craziest stats this set, but still pretty crazy. It's for Div 2, like, what?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And we do see Ferox 1 point away from match point here.
Yeah, 2 to go. Coldless with just 1. Needs to win 6 to Ferox's 2. That's a pretty big ask
to do here.
Sure, Ferox is feeling quite comfortable here. It's okay to be a little bit risky and get a bit aggressive, considering they can afford to drop a couple of rounds here and there. They don't want to throw the momentum too hard, but like we said, it's probably not that big of a factor in Ferox's mind. He's just playing. He's just vibing.
Oh yeah, just vibing is a great way to put it. I mean, this game it's all about the vibes, and I would say that's how I play it.
Oh yeah,
you just
kind of all about vibes.
You get comfortable with your handling, you get comfortable with the game, and it's just kind of this flow state that I'm sure Ferox is in right now.
Oh yeah, I can almost guarantee that you're correct there.
Yeah.
And look at him go. He gets what I believe is there was a 20 skim there, but it would have left his board in an awkward state. I think taking the 19 and 6 less attack was the right thing, because look at that down stack. Absolutely was the right call.
Yeah, but look at Coldless over here, 50,000 points with the 3/4 zone. They were on pace for a zoneless transition here, continuing on that pace so far. This is some really clean play.
Yeah, meanwhile, though, Ferox is caught right up in that zone. And they both hit max at the exact same time. They're both poised, I say. And Coldless strikes first here with their zone right before phase 3.
And I would argue there that Coldless just gave Ferox a little bit of time to get his board in a better state to anticipate that zone into phase 3. I don't know if that was the optimal move there from Coldless. It was definitely the more controlled and predictable move. But sometimes this is an odd situation, and that is a nice curb there from Ferox, but puts nothing onto Coldless's board.
That was I can't believe Ferox was pulling out a curb like that. I saw it come from a mile away, but I assumed they just take the 20, and nope, they knew. And I think this is one of those moments where Coldless's inexperience shined through. Definitely. They had an advantage there, but Ferox sped up. They got that zone built up, and Coldless zoning first just gave it to them, really.
Yeah, that was a slight misstep, and maybe that's why they weren't zoning first earlier. Maybe we figured it out. But either way, Coldless still has this lead here. I mean, look at that score difference here. Coldless has a great board here to zone.
What? With the score difference? What the heck?
Yeah, no, the score difference was actually worse a little bit ago. Like it was 100. It was 100 to 60 at one point. No, and so I was gonna say that.
Same gap now, yeah.
Yeah, a phase 3 curb is usually a death sentence, but Coldless's efficiency is what is saving them so far.
They're saving grace, but it's not enough, and now we're at match point.
Match point, tournament point.
Tournament point, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, at this point, I don't think Coldless can come back from this. Ferox has that momentum, and you know that he's just going to continue with it.
At this point, yeah. At this point, yeah. Oh, okay. I'll go over there in the naughty corner.
It's just the way that you were saying it.
I say it in a way where you don't want to get on board.
No, yes, that's it. I'm like, what am I agreeing to? I'm scared. I'm so scared of you, Wylie, and we are both of these players.
Australians are quite scary. I don't blame you. And here we go. This could be our final round of Div 2. Our final round of the entire Galactic Champions League TC bracket thingy.
You did not have to add thingy at the end of that there, but Ferox here does have max zone. Coldless also with the max zone. Both players looking to... Ferox, don't do that.
Just throws, yeets that Z to the side of the board, just says, I'll deal with it later. I just need to get this damn T-spin. Yeah, and 36 and 14. Great donation, though. Blocks it off with a square, but I liked that. That was nice.
Interesting. Coldless, their zone when they definitely didn't need to. They could have tanked some of that zone right there, but it's hard to know when you can and can't do that.
And those are the big zone chunks there. Ferox cannot afford to tank anymore. They have a few line clears they can take here. They're going to take everything they can, and now they're ready to tank once. Yep. That was nice. That was nice, though.
That was nice.
They ate into that first chunk, and they tanked the rest of it. That gave them 6 good lines to work with. And look at this. They get a 20, I'm pretty sure. 19.
Not fast enough there. I mean, considering that was a half zone there, that is really well played. Not surprised that we didn't have the timer to find the 20 there, but... That's kind of what you get for the half zone.
I wasn't going to mention it, but chat is letting them off the hook, it looks like. Yeah. Missed zone, missed zone PC.
The Nightbot saying missed Ds is like insane. Anyways, Coldless with the zoneless transition here. That's the
Just had-
second
just had
time
a-
I've seen it do that today.
I did, yeah. The first one got deep real bad.
Yeah, I know.
I doubt Chat can hear it, but Edge is laughing maniacally in our ears over comms. Yeah.
But that
He knows
is
what-
a lot of
he
pressure
knows.
on a Ferox's board in that phase 3. Ferox trying to zone to save this right here, to put pressure on Coldless's board, as they just have a very nice stack here. No quarter zone from Coldless, but none needed, as we are at perfectly even after this exchange.
Yeah. Once again, Coldless with the more efficient score here. But despite that, Ferox is at 1-6. I need to go back and watch this game. It's a very interesting case. I think it's an interesting case study in a way. I don't know.
This is
I need to
game
see
knowledge.
why.
This is game
Yeah.
knowledge. Yeah, that's what's
Ferox,
going on
beautiful
here.
Kaiden.
I love that. We both love it.
We both love it. We love watching these two
Absolutely.
play. And Coldless with a little bit too much on their board. They're forced to zone.
Yeah, Coldless forced to zone here. This is some good efficiency. Not a ton of garbage in the queue right now for Coldless, so that is going to send a lot to Ferox, who's going to have to quarter zone here. That's not what he wanted to do.
And Ferox is, I think, on the ropes here. No zone to
Yeah.
fall back on. They do get the quarter. Okay, they should be okay for a few more moments. Just got to get the
Wait,
ball down nice and low.
Coldless just misdropped the 6-3 so hard, and that's going to give Ferox an opening to get this stuff back
Oh
together
no,
right
another
now.
misdrop. They're so clean and they just immediately mess it up again.
Yeah, and maybe that's
Coldless.
nerves coming out from Coldless, but Ferox was actually taking a bit of time to think there. You don't want to give your opponent time to think in that phase 3, but that's what those misdrops just caused right there.
Yeah, this is not looking good. Coldless with an entire zone. Someone in chat saying we need Kazu. We need you to pray for Ferox right now. Good lord. This is and
I
Coldless
love
misdrops
that.
again.
Wow.
And they set up another quick play revive setup. What is happening this round?
I mean,
What is
it's
going
good
on?
recovery there, but that's going to put a lot onto Ferox's board. That is going to be a half zone here used for Ferox, and Coldless is still at the advantage here, has not given it up. That's a lot in the queue, and Coldless is going to take a second round here.
That was not our final round. Coldless is not rolling over here.
And look
Not
at
at
there's
all.
no speed gap. I think
No
because
speed
Ferox
gap.
was slowed down a little bit there, that's what caused the lack of speed gap there. But I mean, still.
I mean, that round was like, that was the year of misdrops, if you ask me. that was wild. There was so much happening in just a short moment. Ferox with a near PC there, not going to give it to Coldless there. No way, Cold doesn't
You
want
almost
that.
said Kazu there, didn't you?
No, I nearly said Cold, thinking that was a
Okay.
different player for some reason. And
No,
I
it's the
corrected
same
myself.
player. No, that's the
Yeah,
same
I was like,
player.
what is going on with me?
Yep.
If it's not obvious, I haven't slept very well. Yay!
Okay. But we have both players with max zone. Coldless is going to pop that zone first. We do see some good moves at the beginning of zone
Just-
here for both players.
Despite Coldless popping the zone first, it's the efficiency versus speed thing. Ferox with a 20 immediately after. Ferox got 15 lines the time it took Cold to get 7. That's what I was trying to say. Like the speed is clear.
Yeah, no, speed is definitely clear here. Ferox understands that matchup right now and is trying to find just the one more point that he needs to close out this B bracket here.
Yeah, but Coldless, the rumblings of a comeback. You hear it in the distance. It's like an earthquake on its way.
Ferox's plonking right there just stressed me out, thinking that his controller
Yeah.
DC'd or something, but nope, that was just some insane
Yeah.
plonking.
I was also
Not-
watching that and
yeah.
I lost my train of thought because of it. I thought, oh, something,
I was like,
something bad is
did
happening.
something go wrong, or are you just plonking at the top of the board like a maniac? Maybe something did go
Crazy
wrong because
donation.
this doesn't look like a good board state from Ferox. Coldless has an opportunity here, but they're
Coldless
taking
is
their
trying to get
time,
IRS.
and that's allowing Ferox to have stack to come back. But that brings it over
Yeah. No, I think Coldless taking their time there. Well, I definitely would have taken the time to get the IRS right. I think when they just didn't get it, it gave Ferox just enough time to cancel out to survive. If they didn't have that time, it might have been another round.
Ferox misdrops the eyepiece there. That is going to leave him in a not great situation. But speaking of not great situations, Coldless having 2 soft drop pieces all the way down the board in order to fix their stack right now, that's going to cost them some precious time here.
That was
The
a very
STSD is
false
great.
STSD, but it works, and they don't take the whole thing, but it gives them a 3 combo to fall back onto into a 3/4 zone. Very nice.
Yeah,
Basically
but
full here.
a misrep there from Coldless, and Ferox is looking to close this out here, not finding it. That misdrop from Ferox is fixed right there, but ooh, this is Ferox going for the kill.
An uncharacteristically inefficient zoning that has given Ferox an opening to maybe take the round, set, match, game, tournament, league, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you totally said those in the wrong order, but that is
100%.
okay. But, you know, you got all of them in there, so good job.
Yeah.
And that is a center 4 wide from Ferox.
Oh, Coldless is dead. Coldless is just dead. No way to survive a 4 wide after that. It's going to take a Christmas miracle in New Year's.
Yeah, not finding that Christmas miracle they need. And that is, I mean, just look at the score difference. Ferox using that game knowledge there in that set, and that is what allows them to take this.
Identical stats, but Ferox just knows how to find an opening. And yeah, well played to Tazago, Coldless, and Ferox, who is our winner of Division 2. Congratulations, my friend. Coldless, also congrats to you for coming in second place, despite being new to TEC. Like, well done,
an amazing
mate.
bracket run from both players, both in the, I mean, all 3 in the bottom half of the top 8 of this bracket. So cool to see. And yeah, I hope to see more tournament appearances from Coldless in the future.
So do I. It's been wonderful to see a lot of players from other scenes coming into TC and giving it a good run. Giving you know, the veterans a run for their money. I love watching this, and it makes for an interesting spectacle. It's a good spectator experience, I think.
No, it's fun. It definitely throws a wrench in what we're used to seeing with this TEC gameplay. And yeah, that is going to be it for the TEC Galactic bracket. Look forward to an TEC Invitational in March. That is going to be very exciting.
Maybe we'll see Coldless there. I don't know if he's invited or not.